How you doing, brother? Hey, Maddox Bay, I'm coming to you. I want to thank everybody, firstly, for that has purchased the book. Thank everybody that has the book on back order and wait for the other ones to come in. But this time I want to talk a little bit about the book because I haven't done that yet. So, what inspired it and what type of inspirations are going on. The first thing is when you pick up the book, it's not that you're going to read the title, but you're going to see it visually. And the book was made in an image of one of my greatest study guides, and it was Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. He wrote the book, I think, in 1971. And it's a great book to read. I think everybody needs to read it and to study from it. He talks about things from a Afrocentric or our perspective without having a Eurocentric mindset or thought pattern, anything like that. So he talks about some things that we need to talk about as far as in our community, and we need to know, and it's a great discussional tool. So after that, of seeing the book, and hopefully it'll draw your attention. If you're a reader, you say that looks like the book Destruction of Black Civilization. Pick it up, and the first thing that's up here is my name, Antoine D. Maddox Bay. Marcus Garvey made a statement a long time ago, and he said, if there's no men of letters in your society or in your community or in your race, you make some. So that Bay, that B-E-Y, is one of the things that's being made by me. I'm very proud of having a Bay on my name. What it stands for, it's a particular state of consciousness and things like that. So, and it's always a constant reminder. I always put the Bay on my name, whether it be Antoine Maddox Bay or if it be Twan Bay, but I always put the Bay. But after seeing the Bay, hopefully again it'll draw you closer into the book where you would pick the book up. And in reading the book starts off in a quotation because this is a power statement first made by me, and hopefully after you read the book and you get it, everybody will make this statement. I am the author of my story, and my mistakes, mishaps, and misfortunes are not, because a lot of people try to define us by the things or the negative things that when we falter in our life. But this life is a journey, and we have to understand those things are just maybe bumping stones, stepping stones, or however, but those are not the defining moments or the defining things that we have to let be our stopping points or our gauging points in our life, because if there's a negative, there's a positive. So those things are not who and what I am. I made the mistakes, I had the mishaps, and all these things will happen to each and every one of us. I'm the author of my story. So it's in quotations. You know, we do the air quotation, so that's what that means. It's a power statement that this is me. When you read that, when you get into it, it's about me. I'm the author of this. And each and every one of us is the author of our own story. And it's a guideline of mental training for positive reentry. Mental training. See, we have to train ourselves to get to this particular point when negative things happen in our life to move past them, because we allow those negative things, the negativity, to define us entirely too much. And we in a society that plays off that. If it's something negative, they like it and they're going to play off of it to their benefit. So we have to do it for positive reentry. Reentry is we started someplace, we had those misfortunes, mishaps, or whatever. Now we coming back stronger. We re-entering into the life that we're supposed to live, that we were born to, whatever our purpose is. So that's what this is about. Positive re-entry in this. And the last is from Vision Behind Bars. This vision came to me from behind bars. Everything I do, everything I'm about, when I'm speaking about it from Antoine Maddox Bay, talking about it from Vision Behind Bars, because me being there for them 18 years is one of the things that positively, not negatively, positively defined me. You know, being under the thumb of the government for those 20 years, 21 years, after getting out and have to go and report and all that, that defined me. That made me think about a whole lot of different things that go on. So then, when you look at the book, it's an underlined portrait in here. It's like it's an outline. And it's a cage with birds flying all over. This brings me to the next book. That's one of the great inspirations for me, by Maya Angelou. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And so in my book, I wanted the birds to be flying. You know, in her book, she talks about things, and it's to bring the women in too, even though women are locked up. But she brings it in from the point of being raped, dealing with the negativity, dealing with the racism of growing up in her life from a little girl. So, in all actuality, she was in prison. That engagement was a prison for her. So, she needed a re-entry from that particular prison, from that little girl to that prison, to become the woman that we know her and love her. May she rest in peace. You know, I love her. I love her. She's a great person to me. I love to read and study her works, and her mind just was amazing to me. But she got her inspiration from writing that book from another Paul Laurence Dunbar, and he has a poem, and you should look this up. It's called Sympathy, and he talks about the same thing. He talked about it from being in prison, and it takes you through there, the what, the why, to coming through. And he tells us about, even in this negative state, and him in this prison again, in that cage, and he tearing his wings again. He wasn't tearing his wings in it for nonsense. He always looked up. He always looked up for that inspiration. He wrote that poem in 1899. Maya Angelou wrote her book in 1969. So those are the things, just the beginning. I'll do some more short videos about it, but that's the cover of this book so you can understand it. It's not something that just came about. It was thought about, and that's what it means. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.